Hi guys, welcome back. So as you guys can see, got a few youngsters on the trap and in the aviary. These birds are actually weaned yesterday. The two blue bars, here's the one, there's the other one, the grizzle. These two birds are obviously bred in this loft, so they are born inside. And actually also my little pied, which is already flying up to the roof, as you guys can see. There she is. So I actually weaned them all yesterday. And one little bad thing about my loft is because I have old birds and young birds together, I have to wean my little ones at a little later age. As you guys can see, most of my young birds are already fully grown under the wings. That one's a little wild, but they are all fully grown under their wings. And yes, as you guys can see by my pied walking up there, they can already fly up to the roof. And I actually had a youngster last year who was about this youngster's age, who already flew around the loft. Not the best, but she actually flew around the loft. There the little pied is up on the roof over there. So these birds are all around about 30 days, a little older than 30 days. And yes, they are actually having a pretty difficult time in the loft. Yesterday they had a difficult time with the old pigeons bullying them a bit. But as soon as they actually learned how to fly on a perch, they actually didn't have a hard time at all. As you guys can see, I don't believe this. As you guys can see, our weather is not the best. We actually had a lot of overcast and actually had some rain this morning. And yes, most of the pigeons actually decided to take a bath. This is their bath, and I didn't put any water inside. It's actually the rainwater which they are bathing in. Yes, I can't stop them, it's their nature. I just don't believe they are actually wanting to take a bath. So I got 4 youngsters weaned, as you guys can see. They already learn. Here's the pied. Just came from the loft and landed on the trap, and that's why I like to wean them at this age. This is actually a little later than I usually do, but because I have old birds, I can't really wean them at a too early age. So right now in my racing loft I got about 11 youngsters. As you guys can see, this is an older youngster who is bullying the new youngsters. Let me just sort him out. Really naughty. There he goes. So in the racing loft I got my 2 inbreds, as you guys can see. This little one. Now Cheeky is this bird's grandfather, and this pigeon is actually looking a bunch like Cheeky. This is his nestmate. A little mini pied. Very nice pigeon. This pigeon is actually on eggs, as you guys can see. This pigeon also on eggs. His hen actually laid her second egg today, so I don't want these 2 pigeons to breed, but who knows, maybe I'll let them breed. So let's quickly head into the breeding loft and I can show you guys what's going on in there. As you guys can see, a new addition. I actually bought an aviary for the breeding loft, and as you guys can see by the breeders sitting in it, they really enjoy it. So something that I should have done a long while ago. As you guys can see, breeding loft is a little cleaner than in the last video. I actually gave it a clean about 4 days ago. Yes, these 2 pigeons are doing well. I actually cut up some papers and they actually decided to use it for nesting material. The pigeons in this loft is actually not very keen about it, but we should go get pine needles so that they can build a nest. So in this loft there are also still a few babies. As you guys know, the 2 red-eye babies, which I actually should take outside so they can walk around and get to know their environment. As you guys can see, red-eye being cheeky as usual, showing me who's boss. That's a very nice pigeon. I think I should take them outside in a while so they can walk around. I really like doing that with my youngsters. It just makes breaking them in a lot easier. Now this baby over here is actually Red-Eye's grandson. I actually already got a baby out of this pair. And as you guys can see, he already showing some white flights. I think there's a bit of bite on his head, but only a little dot. Unfortunately this pair only gave me 1 fertile egg 2 times in a row now, and I actually want to breed 4 babies out of this pair. So let me just put him back so that his mother can get back on him. This hen is actually a inbred Spritzy paired up with Red-Eye's son. As you guys know, this is Red-Eye. That is his brothers. So over here, nothing going on. This is where the grizzle and pied lived. Over here also got some very nice looking youngsters. As you guys can see, they make a mess very fast. I cleaned this about 4 days ago. I should clean it in the next 3 days, but I really don't like cleaning the breeding loft. It actually helps with natural immunity. So this is something which I did last year, and I must say, I didn't have any problems with sick birds last year, so it really did work for me last year. As you guys can see, very nice looking birds, these two. One thing that I really like about these pigeons is their white tail feathers. That's something that's really cool and something which I really like. So this is my champion pigeons babies, and yes, I must say they are looking very good. So look who decided to come. This is actually one of the babies which I weaned yesterday, and yes, I actually got him outside a few times, so he still remembers his loft. So you guys can see over here in Chicky's nest, his baby is actually also very close to weaning. I'll maybe keep him inside here for another 2-3 days, but he's very close on getting weaned. Over here, she should lay an egg in the next 2 days. And over here is that little one I just showed you. Here is his brother, and as you guys can see, he actually doesn't have any white on him. It's actually a little wild one. So just a plain blue bar with no white at all. And yes, this is actually Red Eye's first grandson which I bred. So let me grab these youngsters, then I'll put them outside and then I'll end the video there. Okay, so as you guys can see, little youngsters are outside. That pigeon already has a name. His grandpa actually looked a lot like him, and his name is Little Tyson. I don't know which of you guys knew the show Taking on Tyson, Mike Tyson Racing Pigeons. So that was a show I really enjoyed when I was little, and that's why I actually named his grandfather Tyson, and his name is Little Tyson because he actually looks a lot like his grandfather. So this is what I do with my youngsters. As you guys can see, they are very little, and I already bring them outside, as you guys can see with this pigeon. And this is actually not his first time outside. He was actually outside when he was very little, and this is something I like to do. And if you guys watched my previous videos, you guys know that I have a pigeon who came back after 5 months. I've had pigeons coming back after a month. There are a few pigeons who have been lost for a very long time, and they still came home. So this is how I home my pigeons. Obviously they are bred here, but this is just something I like to do with my birds, and I believe it just makes them love their home even more. And also, I've got a few questions on why my birds are so tame, and this is also, I believe, one of the reasons. Whenever I let out my youngsters, I actually bring out my babies. So this is something that I really like to do, and I really believe it's paying off. So while I actually brought out the babies, this little pied, the grizzle, and one of these blue bars, his brother, or maybe it was him, they were actually inside a bath, and they are still very young pigeons but already know how to bath. So that's pretty cool. I've actually had youngsters about the age of this white pigeon. I actually had youngsters that age already bathing. So thank you guys for watching. Just a little update video, some little secrets which I like to do with my youngsters, and something that I really recommend. It just makes breaking them in very easy, and you'll also get some tame birds when doing this. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.